You've probably never seen this Polkadot chart. This is the Polkadot dominance, or .d. This is how much of all of crypto is locked up in Polkadot in terms of market cap. That's currently at 0.64%. What's interesting about this is that there seems to be some kind of a trading range, and it seems to be that Polkadot can bounce off that support. They are very, very close to that support. So potential rally could see the DOT token go up by 32% or so in relative valuation. Now, this is relative valuation. This is not necessarily DOT in US dollars. In the end, it's the relative valuation that matters, right? The question is always, when looking at all of those different altcoins, what's the potential altcoin that could outperform? Because if you're not looking at outperformance, then you could simply just stick with Bitcoin. But when you're taking on more risk by getting into BNB or Cardano or Matic or Polkadot, when getting into any of those altcoins, the question is always, can you do better? And the measure of dominance is a pretty all-encompassing indicator. Now, if you just look at Polkadot relative to Bitcoin, it's not that pretty. It is underperforming since May of 2021, an underperformance of 77%. DOT versus Ethereum doesn't look that great either. It doesn't necessarily look like we have a floor here, but the DOT dominance looks way more encouraging. DOT relative to Total 3 also looks quite encouraging. Now, what's Total 3? Total 3 is cryptocurrency's market cap except Bitcoins and Ethereums. So we are looking here at the market cap of all the altcoins. How is DOT doing within the altcoin universe? And this is not underperforming anymore since May of 2022. So for roughly 1 year. So the altcoins in aggregate did underperform Bitcoin and Ethereum, but within the altcoin universe, DOT is simply just hovering along. Now, what about the US dollar valuation? There's two things to look at here. First, Polkadot itself. So this is DOT versus Tether. And secondly, Total 3, as in where is the altcoin market cap going? I see here a red line and a turquoise line next to the price, right? You see this both in Total 3 and in the DOT chart. And those are the best moving averages historically. So when you follow a strategy where you get into the market whenever the price crosses the moving average, so buying over here, and then you're selling, for example, over here, when you're following this red line, then you're trading according to the moving average, you're following the trend. So when the price is below the moving average, you would be betting on falling prices. You would be shorting DOT. When you follow such a strategy, you want to set your positions according to the trends. The question is always, what's the best moving average? What's the best simple and the best exponential moving average? Now here is the backtest result for the best simple moving average for Polkadot. So in white, we've got the Polkadot chart. In turquoise, we've got the backtested result. This is the 115-day simple moving average. So that's the same turquoise line over here. Currently, we are above the line. So currently, the backtest would suggest we should be betting on rising prices. Polkadot looks bullish. Now, why 115 days? Because when we look at the backtest, we see over here a local maximum. So on the x-axis, we've got the duration of the moving average. On the y-axis, we've got the annualized performance. And so this goes all the way to the 200-day moving average, 115 being the best. As a reference, we've also got the buying and holding line, which interestingly enough here is in the negative. It's minus 56%. That's because when we look at the entire data of Polkadot that I've used here, I had to cut off the first 200 days. So that starts roughly around here. Because the very first time you can calculate the 200-day moving average is after 200 days. So when we look at the annualized performance, since then it's negative. So we've got 2 years roughly going down by 80% roughly. So annualized minus 56%. That's why buying and holding as a reference here in black is pretty low. But when we look at the reference for trading according to the moving average, most of those backtested results are actually better than buying and holding. Some of them even being above zero. So even though the asset itself went down over that period, trading according to the moving averages following the trends would have outperformed, with the 115-day simple moving average being the best. This here is on a linear scale. So you're starting with $1,000 worth of capital, which then goes down to like 200 if you just bought and held DOT, but it goes up to 5,000 if you trade it. And this is how this performance is made, right? And the trend is negative. We bet on falling prices, so it's the exact opposite kind of price development. When we are in a prolonged bear market, we also outperform. But when we're simply just going sideways, we are not really gaining. The reason why this strategy tends to work is because we are not in the market, or better, we are profiting from the falling prices during bear markets. In bull markets, we simply just copy the price movements, or we go pretty much one-to-one with just buying and holding. This strategy works with many different cryptocurrencies, not just for Polkadot. For Polkadot, we are currently bullish. There are a few fake outs for the exponential moving average. That's to be expected because it's shorter in duration. We are bullish though. We would turn bearish if we fall below $5.80 roughly. If we close a day at midnight UTC below $5.80, then we'd rather be bearish. We do have our fake outs over here, for example, or over here. In the grand scheme of things, this seems to be determining the trends relatively well. Now, there are more backtests. I've backtested these altcoins over here, and this is a script that you can copy paste into TradingView. So that's available for the premium members. If you check out the premium membership, paste in that code, then you can check all kinds of different assets and then see if we are now historically above or below the best moving average. So these moving average durations are different based on the asset, but usually they outperform just buying and holding. Usually trading according to the best moving average does time the market somewhat precisely. So this is Bitcoin, this is Ethereum, but what's more important for this video is obviously how's the price relative to those moving average for Polkadot, but also for Total 3 for the altcoin market. The altcoin market also tends to be rather bullish, but this is simply just US dollar denominated. This is not looking at relative performance. Relatively speaking, I'm still most bullish on Bitcoin. That does not mean though that owning altcoins will generate negative US dollar returns. It might still perform positively, simply not as good as the leader in all of crypto. What's very interesting though is that within the altcoin universe, there might now be a bottom for Polkadot, and it might outperform other cryptocurrencies in that long list of alts. There's a dedicated video around the premium membership that comes next. Looking forward to see you in that video, and thanks for watching this one. Bye bye.